Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Plum Wild Podcast. Week 1, first episode. I'm super excited for this. This is basically a continuation of the Plum Wild Recap. We don't really have as much to recap now, so this is the Plum Wild Podcast. As always, I am Nathan WOTEL, and beside me, Damian Kiefer. How are we feeling, Keith?
We're feeling good. It's Wednesday, my dudes,
Yes, it is. So, we do have a little bit to recap. Nothing too crazy, but we do have, you raced over the weekend. I mean, we could recap that, on these episodes. I think that would be, enough. You definitely had an interesting weekend, to say the least.
Yeah, no, dude. We first time got to flip a race car, dude. It was exciting.
That was your first flip?
Yeah.
Oh man, brother, I've been there. I have been there.
It was great. Yeah, we were pretty good then too. We were racing with the A-mods. Just a bad deal. And then ended up starting 11th Sunday night in the feature and ripped a lip for 20 and ended up getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a little bit from the videos that you sent of that race on, what was that, Sunday night, you said?
Yeah.
But no video of the flip from Saturday?
Dude, I have GoPro footage.
Oh boy, I need to see that. So the ride, I mean, you told me after you flipped, you're like, I fucking went for a ride, and I was like, well, are we good? Like, what are we good? Like, how are we doing? And you're like, we already fixed the car, and I'm like, holy shit, you just texted me, and this was midnight.
Well, to be fair, we flipped around 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Still,
so
to have the car fixed.
I fixed the whole body, and it was the complete left side, the whole roof, the front end was destroyed. The right side sail panel and like the roof was like folded in half on the right side, like it was just smashed. It was bad, but I fixed it. A lot of it was just the body.
So
we barrel rolled.
The 2018 impressive rolls on, huh?
16.
The 2016 impressive rolls on.
Yeah, I think it bent a few bars, like your cockpit bars, like in front of you. The skinny bars that are usually there that are really annoying on iRacing.
Mm-hmm.
Just those. And it bent those. Like, those are the only thing that looks bent, thankfully. But we landed on the roof pretty hard, and I think it was concussed for a day or two there, but we made it.
I mean, you to be honest, you always act concussed, so
dude, I'm like,
it was kind of hard to tell.
I'm like always just like, I'm here, but like, not win. Yes,
exactly.
As JC says, win.
But to recover,
Sunday.
with a win, I mean, that's huge. Like to flip one night and then the next night you go out and win. I mean, that kind of balances out the weekend a little bit, right?
Right, and it kind of speaks for the program itself. I'm kind of proud to talk about our program right now, and it's one of the best. And we've had a lot of success, and we keep doing what we know, and things work. And I think the race car is a lot better than what I take for granted. But I had to earn that one Sunday.
Where'd you start? Tell them where you started.
I started a 6th row inside, and
in like a 20-lap feature, right?
In a 20-lap feature, and the first 2 laps, I think it was 13th or something goofy. And we had to restart. No, I was 12th. Sorry, 12th. And I started on the outside because of Delaware double file. And so from lap 3 to lap 8, I went from a 12th to 3rd on the just ripping the lip
on the cush.
There was no cush. There's no wall. It's sketchy, and there was like not a lot to grip hold of. It was like kind of like Lucas Oil when it gets slick. And like that lip up there, like the sketchy lip, that's what it was.
So
both sides.
You were Hayden Cardwell at Lernerville and Pro Series, like back in 2020. You know, just
dude, yeah, full sending and on entry, it was ridiculous. I was ridiculous on entry, but other than that, it wasn't. The car was pretty good. I didn't really have to hustle it after the last 10. Once I got the lead, it was pretty smooth sailing from there. But keep a car straight, carry the wheelie. You know the vibes.
the dig, son. Hell yeah. Well, I'm definitely, you know, I'm always happy to see you doing well. And I was kind of heartbroken at first whenever you said you flipped, and I was like, well, fuck, I don't know exactly what that entails, especially not seeing it, you know. But then you're like, oh, we already got the car fixed, and then you went out and won the next night. So I was happy about that. Myself personally, over the weekend, I went to Talladega Short Track. The old Hunt the Front series was there. I went Saturday night. I didn't go Friday night. The track was really, really good Saturday compared to Friday from what I saw. Met a lot of iRacers there. I met Lucas Ruark.
Did you?
Yeah, met Lucas Ruark. Scrawny little dude. I mean, he was on a little pit bike, so he might be taller than me. I'm not sure.
Could you fight him? Could you beat him in a
fight?
fight?
100% I'd fight him. Or I could fight him. I could beat him in a fight.
You could beat him in a fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met Lucas, saw Derek Stewart, which I've met him before. Met Chase Hill. I actually hung out with Chase Hill for most of the night. Let's see, who else?
You guys kiss or something?
No. He's like, he's actually, so Chase Hill is really short, and he's 17, but like he's really short. No hate to him, but like he is really short. I thought he was much younger, and I asked him how old he was, and he's actually 17.
He's actually 5 foot.
I think he's 5'1". He told me. And
I feel you there.
But
I'm not that short, but I feel you.
Opposite end of the spectrum, I met Hayden Cardwell, and he is way taller than I thought he would be. Like,
yeah, he's probably like 6'8".
Close to it. He's like, you know, he's like the Doc, man, like 6'8", you know. Talked to W hat. Yeah, that hat is mint.
This shit's fire, dude.
Yeah. But I talked to Hayden.
Best hat.
I talked to Hayden about coming on the podcast, so maybe he might make an appearance at some point. Talked to Jesse Interkin a little bit, and let's see, who else did I meet? There was some other person that I met. Crap, who else was that? Regardless, I had a fun time. Met some cool people, and you know, hopefully we got some people lined up to come on the podcast soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I didn't get to see anybody iRacing wise, and Lincoln was kind of lonely. I usually pit by myself and everything, so it's like real loner vibes, you know.
Yeah, but
no friends.
We got one person lined up. He's coming on right now, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for him, or did you have something else you wanted to say?
When?
All right, there it is. All right, well, on the podcast, on episode 1 here, we're gonna have Chase Barber. Chase, you got a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There he is. I can hear you and I can see you. All right, so with us on episode 1 here, like I said, we got Chase Barber. Chase is, like I said in the promotion post, you've accumulated quite the resume for yourself in your kind of short time, at least from, you know, my perspective, your short time on iRacing. You know, Pro Series driver, 2 years in a row in like the top 10 in points, maybe even top 5. Did you finish top 5 last year in points?
No, I threw that all away. I got banned for like 4 races.
Right. So and then on top of that, you're the recent WOTEL Supers champion. I mean, just a lot of success. 10K iRating at one point. So Chase,
that's crazy.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. So I want to start off. I got one question for you that I want to start off with. I mean, everyone saw I think early in the Pro Series you made the switch to Speed Ranch, and you left House of Speed, and I've associated you with House of Speed since basically last year's Pro Series.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what exactly happened there? What made you decide to leave House of Speed and go to Speed Ranch?
Well, we were butting heads a lot over there, and it was getting to be kind of a toxic environment, and there's a fight and argument every other day about stuff, and we all just weren't happy. Everybody wasn't, so we all decided to make the switch, and I have nothing against Hauser. He helped me a lot, and you know, he helped me get to a pretty good point, and all those guys over there taught me a lot, and I'm still with pretty much the same group that I started with. So I don't see it as that much of a change, but it is a little different. I did take a little bit of time to get used to, but overall, I'm definitely more happy, and I'm having a lot more fun than I used to playing.
I mean, I know you dragged like almost all of that entourage over to Speed Ranch with you.
Well, I didn't. JC Floyd did, and he's helped me a lot. He's a big help, and really appreciate him for everything he's done. And, all those guys over there.
It's like the mafia, though. Like those guys, like they're good guys. They're all good guys, but don't fuck with them. And there's always, and it's
so true. You fuck with one of them, you fuck with all of them, bro.
Yeah, because that's I mean, it's good and bad. It's part. I think everyone's like that now.
Yeah.
But I just always thought it was. I got to figure out who your next. If you do go to your next team, it's got to be something like Italian or something, because you went with like house dressing. Now you're with ranch dressing. Now you like Italian dressing or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
The math is adding up.
Thousand Island Speed Shop.
Yeah, the math. That's all I could think about whenever he said House of Speed and Speed Ranch. It's immediately what I thought of salad dressing. I'm starving.
Yeah.
But
oh, me too, yeah.
Oh shit.
No, you came a long way here in, I'd say, the last year and a half per se. You were actually with Tomasi early before the House of Speed.
That didn't last very long.
That didn't last long. And before that, you were on Vanderpool. But even whenever like you were with those guys, and even whenever you were just started like the first time with Tomasi, you were getting good. You were good at Cedar Lake. I remember that. You were demon at Cedar Lake. Mm-hmm. And you were there, but you.
Nope. Lost you a little bit there.
Repeat. Chat, is this real? No.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. I said, that's the only track I could win at for a while at Cedar Lake. I won my first ever big race there.
Yeah.
That's all I could ever do.
And it's just like my vivid memory of it. And I think it was like a black and red car, and we got into it one time as a night race, and you were.
I remember that. I wrecked you bad.
I have a story too. I want to bring up.
Hey, I have a few stories with Chase actually, and you've came a long way. Like not necessarily just driving wise, because I think you maturity wise that we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Because like even I still struggle with like not the maturity, but just like not being stupid, because it's hard. Like it's a lot harder said than done to not be stupid, because like in the moment you're just like, this is like fuck you, like come on.
Oh, I get fired up whenever
I know, and I
get really fired up. Yeah.
And it's good though. Like you need that, because like if there wasn't any fire in the iRacing community, like on either side, it'd be boring. Like
it'd be really boring. The drama makes it fun.
Yeah, yes. I don't like being in it. Like I always tell everybody, tell me about it. Like I want to know the tea. Like who's sleeping with who broke up with who. I love it. And
there's always controversy, especially in the big races. There's always some kind of controversy.
That's what, like you said, that's what makes it fun. I mean, look at all the VLR races. Like, sure, it's the money that they put up, but like also all the drama that comes with it just makes it so much more entertaining.
It's just like. And that's just like a side that like only us like the dirt iRacing guy like community sees. Like even like people that like go into the series and watch the races and stuff like that, they don't get to see, like if they knew the tea, like if this was like broadcasted, like because we need to get Howard Weaver on like a news report station for like iRacing, and I think it would be a hit.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, Hunter Gaines is a pretty good news reporter already.
Oh so. Yes, that would be that would be a great start. Could you imagine Hunter Gaines on the broadcast line,
bro?
Calling him up, him in the shop working on something. Lord,
he speaks his mind too. That's what I like about him. He speaks his mind.
He does.
Oh, dude. The thing about Hunter that I tell everybody is that like he might be kind of a pain in the ass to be in Discord with, but in person, that dude is the life of the party. Like he's the guy that you want to be around.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not for the whole night, but like you want to at least hang out with him for a little bit, drink a couple beers with him because he is just so full of energy.
Oh, we all dog on Hunter Gaines over there, but I love him.
Yeah, I have a story. You talking about old races with Chase? I remember whenever I was with Ryko, and we saw this little hosted up. We were just bullshitting, and we saw hosted up Open Supers at Cedar, and I was thinking I was kind of some hot shit. I mean, I was getting pretty good, but
Of course, it's at Cedar Lake.
right.
Yeah.
And we go in there. This guy named Shane Barber outqualifies all of us. And I'm talking like this was back in the prime of like Jesse Wall, Tyler Worley, Huey Quillen, like all the Ryko guys. I don't think Zach was there, but it was all these guys in their prime, in my opinion. And Chase outqualifies all of us. I get to second, and I almost beat Shane Barbara.
It was a photo finish. It was close.
It was a completely slick track. I mean, and I was like, who the fuck? And then I look at the results, and I'm like, this dude is a rookie, like never ran in a fish. Like, who the hell is this hosted warrior, Shane Barbara? Yeah. And then lo and behold, several months later,
he got a sex change, and now his name's Chase.
Yeah. Lo and behold, months later, this guy named Chase Barbara is coming up, blowing through all these bottom, middle, and then gets to top splits, and he's doing really well. And I'm like, I guarantee you that's the same guy.
I still, to this day, well, not to this day anymore, but I thought for the longest time Brody was just Chase's alt account. Fun fact.
No.
That could be a conspiracy theory.
He needs to try and get good at it. He could probably be better than I am, honestly.
Yeah,
he needs a lot more help than I started out with.
You know how kids are these days. Like, he doesn't want to do it. He's
I didn't care about racing whenever I was his age either.
Yeah, well, he's a bum. Just like I say, say Brody, you're a bum.
So to go back to like your start, when did you start? When did you decide to start running the officials and like just kind of explain all that? Because I feel like you kind of started running the officials right around the time that pro qualifiers were announced. So like, was there a correlation there, or like just walk me through all that?
Well, I've had iRacing for a while, but I never took it seriously for the first. I played it for like 4 years, but I just get on and wreck people. Like I just get on and wad people up in asphalt and stuff and make them mad and mess with them. But then, I kind of ran the dirt late models and stuff, and I've always been around dirt racing, with my family and all. That's where I grew up, and I just really liked the dirt late models, and I started taking it more seriously and trying to figure the setups out. Bought a setup or two and kind of, learned off of that, and I just kept building them, and I started getting noticed a little bit, and I joined a couple teams here and there, like Vanderpool and Speed Ranch, and then for that whole pro qualifier deal, I wanted to get my iRating way up so I could be in the top split, and I just sat there and grinded and put all my free time into it because I was really dedicated to it, and I really wanted to be good at it for some reason. I don't really know why, but I just really wanted to go and show them that I was good because I knew I could drive. I just had to learn the maturity, how to have patience, and just learn how to race.
And that's what like the hardest thing about I think racing is just knowing when to go, when not to go. Like that itself.
I struggle with that bad.
I still struggle with
that bad.
That itself is like one of the hardest things. Like, because you can never truly get it right. Because like,
for instance, Saturday night when I flipped it, that was like one of those moments like I should have waited. And I should have taken the opportunity, but like I should have waited, and like maybe he could have waited, or like it all could be like, but it's like so split second, like you can never truly make.
But the way I see it is, if you don't take the opportunity and you get stuck behind somebody, or you get stuck in line, your race is over. You can't ride behind the same. I preach that all the time. You can't ride behind somebody and let them ruin your race. You got to go eventually, and you got to try and make a move, and you got to try to do something.
I had that experience at Charlotte actually. Well, it was actually whenever you were catching us. You were like, it was whenever Nathan was in third and I was in fourth, and you were and Evan was in fifth and you were in sixth, and it's before everything. You were ripping the top, and I got up there and I was fast, and I told Nathan, I was like, dude, get out of the way, like.
I was your ass. I wasn't running very good.
you were rolling there, and you had speed, and
Mm-hmm.
you had that. But you've
I
had
threw
speed
that
all.
one away. Threw that one away. I think I could have
You
done
were
something there.
because you were good. Like even like whenever you were behind there, like when Evan was there, like because me and Evan were running the top for a little bit there, but you were just a little bit better on exit, and yeah, if you were smarter.
What happened
Yeah,
there,
if I
Chase?
wasn't brain dead.
What
Yeah, that
what
was
exactly
bad.
happened there with Evan at Charlotte, for those who
Well,
don't
I've
understand?
never been that fast before. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, and I didn't expect to drive up to him that quick. And I thought I lifted him up the lap before. I was right up under him, and then I got right up under him the same exact way, and it just hooked him in the wall, and we just jumped shit. And I didn't mean to do it, and I felt bad. I thought I was gonna look like an idiot because I thought I threw the whole championship for him. And I have a lot of respect for that guy. I mean, he deserved it. I mean,
Yeah.
he destroys the field and damn near every race he loads into. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if anyone deserves to win it, it's him. And I didn't want to jeopardize that. I felt pretty bad for a minute there, but I'm happy he got it done, honestly, because I would have really looked like an idiot.
Yeah, I think the whole even like so like I saw the ordeal, I rewatched it, and I can't say I would have not done the same thing because if you lift there, and this is what people like, I see both sides of it. You lift there, you lose the spot behind you because there was a guy that was racing there.
Oh, there was somebody right up behind me, like right up on my bumper.
So you lose a spot. And then you're going to lose momentum, and you can't even try to challenge back. So you just lost pretty much, not necessarily 2 spots, but you lost 2 spots, and you can't regain that. And
It was a lose-lose situation. It really was.
And if you lift and you kind of cut down and you barely hit them, it's going to do the same thing but worse and make you look.
That probably would have wrecked them even worse. I would have cleaned the whole field out behind me.
And you
Right.
would have gotten away unscathed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
because you would have turned down and it would have just killed them. And it would have killed everyone behind you, but it would have been perfect for you. So, like, you put, like, the way he went into the wall, like, yes, you should have probably lifted. But at the time, I see it. I see why you did what you did.
I mean,
it's split-second decision.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no room for
Charlotte
error.
coming off of 4 is so intense anyway, whenever you're trying to, like, because he slid you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just like slid up a little bit. I didn't think he was gonna slide all the way up either. He just like came up, and I was like,
and
shit.
he came up a little late, which it happens. And
that's the
I
Pro
would have done
Series
that
slider.
too, though. I mean, he made the right move. It just didn't work out.
I would have made that slider end at the corner exit. Like, I'd have been a real cock, but
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
but that's just how you're. And yeah, I know. And then you just lift there, but you had some good runs there, especially like I-55. You led that for a while, then. You decided
threw that one away too.
You decided you wanted to hold me up for 10 laps. It's fine.
Yeah.
The way you ate the wall in front of me, man, I was upset with you.
I was no good that night. I tried running a bunch of air, and it didn't end up working on the old legs.
You were. Yeah, I figured.
That's why you were fast early.
If the yellow didn't come out,
not the only
if the
reason
yellow
you
didn't
were
come out,
fast
though,
early.
it was over.
The first 35, you were, 30, I'd say. You were like gone,
cooking.
like good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and then we had the yellow. And then
I was praying for no caution because I only slowed down like a tenth. I would have been fine.
Yeah.
The yellow, but.
So
Can't think on that.
Here's this. We've seen 2 different types of builds on this build. We'll say that. Builds on builds, whatever. Update. 2 different series. What's your opinion on the new style compared to the old style with the tire wear? Are you a fan of it or not a fan?
I hated the old build, the old tire wear. I couldn't stand it. I don't like sitting and riding around. I don't agree with that. That's not how you should win. It really took a lot of driver out of it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still hard to win, but if a dude rides around the bottom 5 more laps and he's a 10th better, especially at a track like Knoxville or something like that, it was really stupid. And I really didn't like it. I'm really happy with this one. They actually did really good with this build and this new track and all that. It's actually really fun, and I think it's at the best state it's ever been since I've started. So right now, it's the best it's ever been.
So that makes me wonder. Everyone reveres the 2018, 2019, 2020 build. Were you on at that time? Like, can you compare to that, or were you on at that time?
Well, I ran like a race, so I can't really tell you much, but
Yeah.
I don't really remember. I didn't really race that, but I
But-
watched a lot of the old pro races, and they were barn burners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My only complaint with this current build, I agree is the best that it's been probably since I started.
Quarter panels should bend.
No, that is one of them. But my only true complaint, as far as all of it overall, is I still think the slick should be a little bit slicker, and then that grip that you see should be, should have the same amount of grip, but making the slick a little bit more slicker would, I think, could widen it out.
Here's how I think about this. On the iRacing side of things, like for your slickness side of things, like, granted, I know what I drive and whatever, but when your car is right, you should be necessarily able to flat foot it. Not necessarily flat. You should be able to flat foot it down the straightaway though. In the future.
Yeah, 100%.
And,
Oh,
like,
I do. I don't give a shit. I do.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
I'm going.
now, but like before you couldn't, but
Oh no.
I don't know. Like, I think the slickness has a good level of it.
Perhaps it's the marbles that.
It's just so hard. Yeah, the marble deal. Like,
That is still stupid though. The marbles should not be as fast as they are. I search for them during every race.
Yeah.
If I see a patch of marbles or something developing, I just drive right through it.
Right to it.
And
that's where I'm going.
Faster every time.
Yep.
yeah, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like currently right now is how you drive the cushion, and like you should be to drive a cushion, like you have to be full tilt or you die.
Oh yeah.
IRL, like not die or whatever, but
You drive over it, and
if you pussyfoot it one time, you're in the fence.
I mean,
like, kind of.
Yeah.
And so like like at Charlotte there, like 3 and 4 you could probably went through there full tilt, but like 1 and 2, like to me, like I don't know. I wish the grip was a little. The cushion was different.
Yeah.
The iRacing cushion model to me is.
They need to work on the
The
cushion.
iRacing cushion model's always been bad though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always
And it's
not been good. But
That's
I mean,
the
I
only-
can see that's probably the hardest thing to perfect, really.
Well, and it's because it's something like you bounce off of, or if it's tall, you like in your right front catches into it, and it probably wouldn't be very user friendly because I think a lot of people at first would just murder the cushion.
No, they'd be ready to
But
quit.
that's how you learn.
Yeah.
They would be.
But that's
Yeah.
how you learn.
That's how you
And-
learn.
That is how you learn. People hate adapting and they hate change, and they hate it. Like I'm not gonna lie, that's probably why I hated the old tire. I couldn't get used to that, like the saving and stuff. I was not good
Yeah.
at all that.
Well, I finally figured it out somewhat. That I-55 there, and I paced and I learned it, and I was like, all right, I know what I'm doing. And then we had the update, and it changed, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I got to redo this again. But now it's kind of.
It's easier to
Now
me.
you just go out there and drive. It's like the old build.
I
It's
think
not-
for
to
most
me-
of our races it is like 40, 50 lappers, like you're fine. But I think anything, which I haven't done too many, 50 or over laps, but I'm sure you still have to save a decent amount for like a 75 lapper or a 100 lapper.
I haven't even done a 100 lapper yet on this.
I haven't.
It's all been 50,
Well, I
40.
have, but it was
so I
unfixed,
really
so.
couldn't tell you. I don't know what I'd expect.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's good. I don't think the tire wears what they were trying to accomplish. I don't think can be correctly done because of how a tire actually wears and what iRacing's physics on how a tire wears is like so drastically different. It's really
Yeah.
hard to grasp.
And they can't take it in effect the character of like the track. The track has different character. It's going to wear differently, and
Yep.
it's not going to wear the same every single race.
Right.
It's all always going to be different.
Well-
but they can't. I don't think you can do that on a simulator.
Yeah, because you'd have to have like each track would have to have a different dirt texture surface, almost.
Yeah,
so
and
how
that
much-
sounds like a lot of work.
yeah.
And, I couldn't even imagine. So then you have to get it to where like if you're sliding and you have to like make an algorithm or whatever, whenever you're sliding, what percentage that gets, or whenever you like spin the tire, like I don't even want to do it. Like
Yeah,
thinking of it
probably
just
hard.
sounds terrible. But
So,
I think like what you said earlier, I think we're at the best stage we've been at. And I know I haven't raced a lot, but I did race a Lernerville League race and where did we race? Charlotte. We ran
Yeah.
at Charlotte again in WRA and Supers, and
Both 50 lappers.
I qualified up front, but like I like the racing in the mid pack because like I'm not great anymore in the feature time. I'm getting old and weary. My shoulder's tired.
Oh yeah.
Shut up.
But, the dogs are calling. It's just getting old. And nah. But like I think the racing's like almost as best like I've seen it because I'm like in the same boat as you. I didn't really come into. I was there on the 2019 build, I guess it was, before last build for probably a month and a half, and then I went into the next build. But I agree that this current build is, I think, driving-wise, is really, really good.
Oh yeah, I like it a lot.
So, there's a question from Robbie Buchanan in the chat. He wants to know why are you not going for the Sprint Car Pro Series, Chase?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I can like halfway drive a sprint car, but I'd just be a field filler, and I don't want to sit there and just work and work and work and get better and just try and get better in them. It's just so much work to race one of those series
and run 8th, and then not even and do what? Running 8th.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna go into the series. I'm gonna go into the series, and I'm gonna be a mid packer. I'm not even gonna requalify, so I don't see it.
And that's like my thing.
Nothing wrong with that, Chase.
And I get like I get the splits and like the SOS, but like you can race top. Like to me, I'd be like me and you. We'd both be in top split, and I'm like in the same. I can half-ass drive a sprint car, and I think if I put some like grind to it, I could run top 10 in those races, which in itself is pretty good to say. But running 10th in that race, you can't like you're running with the best of the best, and you run 8th every week, you're not even making the series. But to me, that's a lot of grinding for you have to win it. Like, and I know I'm not the person that's gonna win one of those races. Like, I might pull off a 5th by a miracle, by somebody wrecking somebody.
Yeah.
But it's not and those things, if I touch someone and I kill someone, I'm gonna feel terrible because like I'm already kind of a weapon in those things.
Oh yeah, me too. And it takes so much work to run one of those series, and you gotta like, well, I don't know nothing about a sprint car. I'd have to learn a completely new car. I don't want to sit there and do that.
That's how I am.
Well, that's gonna take way too much time. That's take way too much.
That's kind of why I decided not to go for it. I was considering it, and I was like, this is just too much work for someone like me.
Yeah. We know the grind of like what the late model Pro Series takes, and like I know a lot of guys say like, well, like the Pro Series this year may have not as been stacked as it has been prior years or whatever, yada yada yada.
You're still racing against the same top people though.
But it's still the pros. Like I was telling Bogus this the other day at the end of pros because he's gonna go for qualifiers finally and actually go for the series.
He says he is.
Upcoming.
He says he is.
He says he is.
He said that last year or this year.
Like what I was telling him, I was like, the Pro Series, like you have the thing, you have the VLR series. Like, yes, those are very, very big series and very, very hard to compete in. But the Pro Series is just different. Like it's like there's probably 4 guys that are missing from it that probably should be in there to make it a little bit better.
I'd say
realistically,
4 or 5.
There's 4 or 5 guys, like that probably should be in the Pro Series. But other than like it's so like qualifying the other night at Charlotte, we were like, I think the whole field was within a 10th and a half or something, and I was like that's crazy.
In Pro Series?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about the one where I qualified pole?
Yeah. Like
okay.
Shut up.
Right, just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page.
Dude,
I wish I could do that. Shit, I might be able to win one if I could do that. That's my biggest
dude,
problem.
I'm amazed. We qualified. What did we get? 4 poles?
Yeah, so
3 poles.
4 qualified.
Like that's.
I qualified pole at Port Royal. They canceled the race.
I'm a cheeser, dude. Like I don't.
And then you
I
qualified
can't build a
pole.
qualifying setup, so I don't know.
Where did you qualify pole at, Kiefer?
I-55.
I-55 and.
No, I qualified second somewhere. It wasn't pole.
So we got 3 because I qualified pole at
Shit, I still wish I could do that. That's better than I did all year.
Yeah.
Dude, qualifying like in Pro Series, like if you can't qualify,
it's the hardest part, and it's not even close. It's the hardest part, and it's not even close.
I was like those like polls and like top 3 qualifying efforts that I had there, like at the end of the season. I was like, damn,
yeah,
I felt like I won the race.
It's an accomplishment in itself, honestly. Like
Because like qualifying
Right.
itself is just like so you have to be so perfect, like in pro
And
series.
it's everything. It's everything. It's all
Because-
that matters. You're not driving through the field and winning.
No,
And it's what
I
everyone
mean,
practices for anyway.
Unless you're Evan, but
not
mean, I don't
really,
know.
not there. I don't think. Like in this new build, yeah, these guys can drive through the field pretty well, but like in the pro series, you're not starting 16th and driving to win it. It's
no.
it.
You'd have
I
to get
mean,
lucky, real
you-
lucky.
Can you get top 5? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
pretty realistically. But can you win it in the pro series?
Probably not.
Probably not. But
So
I don't know. It's
I got a question for you, Chase. So you I mentioned that you won the WOTEL points, and
Yeah.
you finished what, 6th in the Pro Series points.
Yeah.
So WOTEL and Pro Series were going hand in hand. WOTEL was running Sunday night, and then Pro Series Monday night. They're at the same track, almost the same field, if not more stacked in WOTEL, because it's most of the pro guys plus a lot of those really, really good guys that just aren't in Pro Series. How do you, like, what do you think was the reason that you were able to, pick up 3 wins? I think three or 4 wins in WOTEL. Probably a little more consistent, you would probably say. Pick up the championship compared to 6th in the points in Pro Series. What was the difference there?
Qualifying, track position, just I put myself, for some reason I couldn't, like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I feel like in some of those pro races I couldn't catch a break some nights. I'd qualify bad. When I qualify good, I'd wreck shit, or I felt like I had a lot more luck in World of Thunder. And we're all out there testing and trying stuff, so some nights I hit on it, some nights the other guy doesn't because he's trying something and this and that. But it's a little harder when it's all on the line, and I'm not gonna lie, they're a little harder to win. But I mean it still feels good to win all those races, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty cool. But I really wanted to win one of the pro ones, and I feel like a lot of them just got away from me in full pro series and whatever.
Hey, live and learn. The
Yeah.
third, well, I'll probably be out in qualifiers again. It'll be our 3rd years in it. You'll be elite. I'll be mid still. That'll be great.
So,
I hope I can be good next year.
Dude,
I'm curious.
what if we get a new build?
We're not getting a new build. We might, if anything,
I don't
want
want them to leave it.
Small
Actually,
changed.
for once, I want them to leave it alone.
It's going to be something small changed if there's anything.
Yeah.
I think from
Core
now
panels.
until next year. Yeah, something small that's like not really affecting how you really drive the car.
I have the solution for quarter panels. I think what you could do is somehow get it to like whenever you're like the bottom half of the quarter panel bends, but the top half, whenever you hit the wall, does not bend. So therefore, you keep the wall tapping fact out of it, and then the quarter panels bend. Because Chase's instance, I've been screwed over by that deal probably 18 times.
Oh yeah, I've gotten hooked and killed in so many races. It's so stupid.
The only reason I keep it's just happened to me like 4 times in the last 5 races, and like
You're over it.
I'm about to call Hudson
You're
and be
over
like,
it.
hey, dude, like I'm gonna design this. I'm gonna engineer it. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get a bendable right rear quarter panel.
More than anything, I feel like they need to fix the wall tapping, because I mean I'm like at Fairbury, like in an official or something. I'm just driving into the wall every lap. That's all I'm trying to do.
Wait,
I'm just driving into the wall.
Port Royal. I think
Port Royal,
God,
oh my
we've
God.
talked about this multiple times, but Port Royal in 3 and 4, if you can hit your right front off the wall and bounce it just correctly, it's like 4/10.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
I was in practice.
If you're not hitting the wall at Port Royal, you ain't going nowhere.
I was in practice with Kiefer, just ready to
I have a
quit.
video of it.
I was ready to quit. I was so pissed because he could do it and I couldn't, and I thought it was stupid. And I was like, this is fucking dumb. I'm over this. Like the way he was wall riding.
I mean,
was like,
it is
"There's
though. It
no
is
way."
dumb. It's
I know. I
stupid.
was just that frustrated. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm done with this shit, bro. I don't want to do it
Like
anymore.
I was like, you could kill the right front at Port Royal in 3 and 4, and like it doesn't even affect the right front. It just bounces you off and gives you like a mega speed,
a speed
boost.
boost. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stupid. It's like some Mario Kart shit. It's not. And I don't know how. I don't know how that's still a problem. I really don't. It's been going on since I've started the game. It's gotten worse, if anything, honestly.
Now it has, because like last build, people talk about wall tapping, but it was more of a wall bouncing, and like you had to be pretty good in order to do it.
He had
Like,
to hit it at the right angle.
like it was not easy, but like you could do it, but it wasn't like 4/10. It was kind of like half a tenth.
Yeah.
It was just
Or a
that little
tenth,
bit extra.
maybe, but it was just that little extra, and it was like just a skill gap. I personally think last build or now, it's a major skill gap because if you can't
Yeah.
do that, it's like in February
It's
and 1 and 2.
huge. Yeah.
Are you talking? I'm assuming you're talking about the 1 and 2 where you can kind of white front bounce it. Well, that's
Oh
personal.
yeah, yeah. You
And
can.
bounce
So
it off
good.
there, and then 3 and 4, I think you can bounce it like right after the center of the turn, and it turns down for
There's a little
you.
orange marker on the wall that I
Yep.
always
Yep.
aim for. I get
Yep.
it spin out. I spin out going into the corner, and I drive into it, and it straightens me out.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
how I run that track.
It's just
It's,
ridiculous.
but
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
it is. But what do you do? You know, like we're here, we're vibing, like we just race. You know.
So
I mean, it's
We
still
just-
fun. I still have a lot of fun doing it. It's better than R Factor, probably. Probably
I
not.
wish the
but
bottom was a little better. I wish the bottom mud was a little better whenever the top was really good. Like whenever those tracks
Yeah.
get slick. Like
I always love running the top, but I love to run like the middle bottom and
Now-
be fast doing that. That's the best feeling. Like
It's a
when
good
you're whenever
feeling.
you're just through the
now
middle
you
killing them.
understand. So like
I love it.
for like I feel like the longest time now, like for the last year in iRacing, like that's my goal. Like my strict, like I don't like. Yes, I can set up to run the top, but I always set up to like run the dead middle or the bottom because like if you can just be
Yeah.
good down there, it is the biggest. Like I have a massive penis flex,
it
Oh,
feels
yeah, 100%.
rewarding.
and it's
And you
like,
just
yeah,
drive
'cause,
by
like,
people too. Like if nobody else can do
Yeah.
it, you just drive by everybody. Like
yeah, and that's like
they
my
can't do
thing.
anything.
Like, and kind of like you've became a builder now. I think a lot, and like you have
I'm kind of a
lot
button clicker, but we're still learning.
you have a pretty good a better understanding than most do at it,
Oh yeah, I got a bit, I'd say.
and I think that's helped a lot. Just being able to adjust in your accordingly and doing it yourself now, and
Yeah.
you've
I
come
just
a
try
long
to,
way.
I'm not the best. Like I can't sit there and build like a whole setup, but if you give me something, I'm always changing it and
Yeah,
making it better for myself, and maybe other people like it too. So that's how I help a lot of the like
right.
speed shops I've been on. Like House of Speed is, but like I just get the setup from JC or Hauser, somebody like that, and now Tanner, and I get Tanner
Yeah.
set up, and maybe change a thing or two here and there, and
Yeah.
I like
'Cause-
it, and I really make
Well,
it better for me. Maybe not for the other guy, but for me, I can make it drive more comfortably.
Right, and that's what I think a lot of people like. It's hard for them to like it. A lot of people don't know what they're changing when they're changing it. Like that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. And then it doesn't matter what setup you. I think all setups are fast at the end of the day. Like all of them are gonna have speed, but they're all gonna drive different. And like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So and like to me, there's not many people like we could bring a team, probably not a team, but we could probably get a few guys over here to race with us. But I already know what the situation's going to be with people on my setups. They're going to say that they're dog shit, and
Yeah,
then
I know
the
what you
next
mean.
or the next guy would be like, "Oh, this thing's great." Like I think that's just the biggest thing. And you've had success with two different builders now, even though like you do adjust things and two different things, and it just says more about your driving capabilities, but we need to work on the patience, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm trying to work on it.
And you're
still.
still young. You're still, what are you now? 20?
17.
19? You're 17? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a child. Like,
Yeah.
we can't even hold hands.
There's only one
Oh,
thing
shit.
worse than
We can, just behind closed doors.
Wow.
All right,
That sounds like a plan, actually. Chase, I got like a two-part question for you. So, you achieved something that only at the time I think only one other person had achieved, and that's reaching 10K iRating. I remember like the build up for it. Like you were grinding. I could see like you're getting close. You finally hit it, and then you lost it, and you lost pretty far down here recently, and then you're on the upswing again. I think you might be right at 9K now from the last time I checked.
Yeah.
But what was that like hitting 10K, and then what exactly happened to make you drop back down?
Well, I didn't care about keeping it.
You just
That
wanted
ain't
to
what
hit
I was
it?
worried about. I just wanted to hit it, and now I don't give a shit. if I hit it or not again. As long as I have above 8K, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I drop below 8K somehow, that's
when we got a
have to tear up
problem.
a lot of shit, but that's like a little bit. That's where it gets sketchy at.
There's only so many people that have hit 10K. Like
there's only 3.
Like just
in
like
dirt, there's only 3, and then there's probably about 20 or 30 like overall who have, maybe less. So it's pretty insane to out of concurrent like active members. I think iRacing has somewhere around like 150,000, 200,000 maybe
you
more.
wreck one race at like 9,700. You wreck from one race and you
lose like 200 almost on 60.
I bet it's probably 300. Like that's, and then if you win like a 4K, you probably gain 10 iRating.
Blake and Evan hold it because they don't race that many officials. I don't
right.
I don't see that. I just do it to go in there and have fun with my friends and stuff. But
yeah,
from their perspective, they're just in there. They go run a race, and they're competitive. I mean, they're always going to be competitive. But they get out front and they win. But if they raced more and sometimes you can't control getting your shit jumped. Sometimes you can't control it. It don't matter how fast you are. Yeah.
So
that's why I think it's so much easier for them to keep it because they don't race as much. But I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah. Right. I mean, so my next part of the question. So whenever were you over 10K whenever the new build came out? I mean, you were obviously high.
No, I was like 90. I stayed around like 9,700, the whole last build.
So
I'd never go over it.
Regardless, though, you were really highly iRated, and at that point, just based off of iRating and then your success in other leagues and your previous success in the last Pro Series, I asked Evan this question. We get a new build and you're the third or second highest iRated guy. You have had success on the old build. How much pressure did you feel on yourself to kind of have this immediate success on the new build?
Well, I knew I could drive it. I mean, I feel like I can adapt to the driving part no matter what. I feel like in a late model, I have the feel for them. The feel never changes no matter what build. You still want the same feel, and you know what feel you want. And that's why I think I'm a good button clicker. I just go off a feel. I know what I'm feeling, and I know what I want because I've driven the car so much. So, I wasn't really worried about that. I was worried more about being dialed in and, having the car to be able to make it happen more than the driving. And I knew I could probably get on and drive it, and I would have to learn and, adapt and whatnot. But I knew I could probably adapt pretty easily. I wasn't too worried about it. I was excited for it because we'd raced the same build for a year and a half.
Yeah,
over and over again, and it was getting boring.
There was a lot of hype for it. There was a lot of hype for it, and like we talked about, I really enjoyed this new build. It was an exciting day getting on for the first time on the new build. It was just so different.
Were you actually excited though?
Me
that
or
day?
I was at first, and then I got on, and that shit was dog shit.
How long did it take you to realize something's not right here?
10 laps.
10 laps?
Yeah.
Whenever
I looked at my tire and I was like, oh my God.
10 laps and we're already this fucking worn out?
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a problem. And I knew it. And we ran all that first money race. It was like 400 to win. When Rumsey smoked all of us and he saved the tires, right? And that was the dumbest shit ever. And I was ready to quit after that. That was the dumbest shit ever because I saw it coming, like everything that happened and how you had to race it. And I knew that's how it was going to be, and I didn't even pull with it.
So now that Pro Series is over, what's kind of like your goals for? I know you're locked in to the next Pro Series. What do you plan on doing really in this time from now to next Pro Series? I mean, are you just going to keep running officials like normal and or are you taking a break or what's the deal?
I've definitely backed off. I don't race anywhere near as much as I used to. Now I kind of get on like 1 or 2 days out of the week and really race a lot as opposed where I'd be racing all the time. But, I'm just out there riding around right now, just having fun. And like the VLR series for the UMPs, I'm having fun with that. Like I'm actually like having fun. I can't believe that shit. Like, it's
How are you doing
really
in
fun, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm third in points.
How'd you do Monday night at Cedar?
I finished 4th at Cedar, and then I got 2nd last night.
Oh, they raced last night?
Yeah.
At Charlotte, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who ended up winning last night?
33 car.
Ah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he's all right.
He's decent.
He's a pretty good driver.
Pretty good driver. Yeah, we had him on. You know, he was our last guest, and he's a little bit of a character, man. I mean, we all know that Evan is like not very talkative and all that, but I think we were able to get him to talk a little bit, and so that was fun. So we've ran a lot against each other. You know, myself and you, Chase, and I'm sure, you know, Kiefer's ran with you a lot. I wanted to share one of the coolest things, I think, one of the coolest sort of examples of sportsmanship that was because of you, Chase, was maybe earlier this year.
I know what you're talking about already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Model.
So the opener in Pro Late Models at Charlotte, this was like, I think a 6,400 strength of field.
Oh, it was a big one.
It was like the biggest that I had ever been in, probably outside of like the Top Split Pro qualifiers.
Yeah.
I qualified third, ended up in the lead after some contact with Dylan Hauser that I know he wasn't very happy about. But regardless, I was in the lead. I was getting kind of nervous there at the end because, I mean, I knew it was a 6,400 or whatever it was. I knew it was really high, and I had never won anything that big before. And I was just trying to roll and hit my line, and I see Chase Barber coming up, you know, ever so slightly, lap after lap, and we're getting down to the end. And on the white flag, we go 3 and 4, and you're there. You get into me a little bit, and you back out. And so I took the win, and I was like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that was my fault or whatever, but I know Chase backed the fuck out. Like, he did not want to dump me for the win. You know, like, I thought that was really cool. And it ended up being my highest strength of field win at the time at 6,400. So that was really cool. And I think it really shows, I think, the maturity that you had back then, you know, and how much you've grown since then. But to show that much maturity and respect at that time.
Believe that. There's a lot of people, most of the people in this game, I would have gave it to them for that, but I do respect a couple of people.
Yeah, I will take like some credit in that, like for like, especially like me and Nathan. I feel like a lot of people drive us clean because like we don't race like that. Like
we don't.
Yeah.
And there's people that do drive us like, or drive me like a complete cuck. But at the end of the day, if you're just think about it. That's all you gotta do. Just think. Use a brain cell. Not two.
You know who to give respect to and who not to.
Right.
I mean, you know who's gonna do it to you and who won't do it to you.
And it's sad to say that, but like I know exactly what's gonna happen. Like on the restart, like we'll be lining up for the restart. Say I'm 5th or something, and I'll look at my surroundings and I could tell you exactly who's gonna hit who and what's gonna happen.
Almost. And how much shit's gonna wreck. Yeah, all the time. Especially an official, 100% every time.
Yeah.
You can anticipate it and you can really win that. Like, if you know what's gonna happen.
Show that patience a little bit just by knowing who's around you. And there's only a handful, for me, there's only a handful of guys on the sim that like I know just it does not matter. Like they're gonna be a cock to race against. Like whenever there's gonna be contact. There's only a handful of those kind of guys. Thankfully to me, it seems like, but you're definitely not one that's like that. I know that I can race around you as hard and as clean as I can with Kiefer.
As hard as you're gonna be. That's like what's good about like what I say about racing you and Evan. Like you're gonna make us race hard too.
That's me. I mean, I'm a little rough, but I don't just try to go out there and wreck people. That's the way I see it. Like, if I have to give somebody a little bit to get them out the way or something, I have to. But, you know, I never go out there and just, like, try to wad people up and all that shit like some of those guys do. Like, those guys straight up go out there and they will just wreck your shit.
Yeah, you did though. You did admit that at the beginning of the episode that you did.
Yeah.
At one point in time, get on iRacing to wreck people.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's when I didn't care.
this is the
I was
growth
just
that
asphalt.
we've
I was
been
like
talking about.
carburetor cup and shit.
Oh,
That was
carburetor
fun.
cup. Listen, so chat. I gotta wanted to open it up if y'all have any questions. I'm out of questions for Chase here, so if y'all have any questions, I'll pass them along. Your dad's actually in the chat. It seems Chase. He says he gets a little bit of that patience from his dad. I'm too nice on the racetrack. Would you agree?
Oh, he's way too nice. I'm nowhere near as nice as he is. He just drives around, and I don't know. It pisses me off sometimes, but
I feel
it's okay.
I'm a nice guy too a lot of the times, but I will say this: the other night I did have one little outbreak. It was my first one ever, and it's hard. Like to do that, like to keep your patience though. That's harder than it is to like.
Are you
lose
talking
It comes with
IRL or
age, I think,
iRacing?
once you get to be older and shit,
Yeah,
mature.
yeah.
Are you talking IRL or iRacing, Keith?
I'm talking
Oh,
both.
that's-
Both.
Ah.
It does not matter.
No. I mean, like you said, your outburst. Which one was it?
Oh, that was at Macon
Ah.
Speedway the other weekend. Whenever the lap car wrecked me and absolutely KO'd me while I was leading the race. Oh, dude, I was
Definitely frustrated.
one of those moments. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
It's like it'd be like leading it'd be like it's like he almost Ryan flattened me. Wait,
Oh,
is Jay Casey
fuck.
in here? Is Jay
Oh,
Casey in
Oh,
here?
shit.
That's the
No.
thing. Yeah, that's the. Yeah,
No,
that's
it
shitty.
wasn't like that. But
Chase.
lap cars.
When
Well, in real
under-
life, you got shit tore up and you got to put it back together. You got to put your
That's-
shit back together and do all
That's
that.
what like I was more
Yeah,
upset
that
about. It was like I know
yeah.
how much work goes into it and like what he just broke.
You have a
for
lot
the-
of work when you don't junk shit, and then when you tear shit up, you got even more. So
That's the worst part.
So,
There's too much work.
uh,
That's the best
when-
thing about iRacing. I just hit a button, it like resets.
when
yeah, it just does it all
underscore
for you.
when underscore XD underscore 69 has a question. Says ask Chase why he threw the win at Charlotte.
You have a
I ran over the 33.
Yeah,
That's
we went
definitely
over
Logan
that
Rumsey
actually.
too. That's definitely Logan Rumsey.
Do we think that that's Rumsey? Because this person's been in my chat a lot recently, and I have no clue who they are.
Probably
kind of a new
Logan.
account. So
Well, Rumsey was in here, like he was like in the podcast here. I don't know about like stream recently, but like in the podcast the last few days or last times we had it, he's been in here, and like now he's not been in here, but like
this new person.
it's still the same comments that like Rumsey would make, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Oh
Rumsey,
yeah, that's definitely
like Rumsey
Logan,
makes
yeah.
like certain comments, and like it's like a Rumsey comment, you know?
JC
Yeah,
Floyd
he's a
wants to
troll.
know why didn't he win the Gobbler on the God set, SMH?
Oh
What
man,
happened?
I was running third in that deal, and then we were getting drugged away from because the guy in third's internet decided to break, and we lost the draft. So
Oh, there was
blame it
a
more on that guy
draft.
for having shitty internet.
There's a draft in street stocks. I would have never guessed.
Me
Not
either.
not anymore, but it used to be so bad and ruined.
Dude,
the race.
remember Volusia and street stock? That shit was awful.
Yep, it was terrible. It was even bad at Lucas Oil.
That's what I was getting at. Like it was
Yeah.
the last Gobbler was at Lucas Oil, and in Street Stocks there was a draft. That's crazy. Now I'm curious. Do you still run?
Jordan Gage won that race too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, everybody.
He's a wheel man.
Anyways, do you still run Street Stocks? I mean, I know you used to run them a lot.
Oh yeah, dude, Rubbin's racing in street stocks. That's my shit.
So you
You
still
go
run
out there
'em.
and wad people up, and they don't even wreck. I love it.
Never been a fan of Street Stocks. I really
it's
have.
boat
I love 'em.
racing, dude. It's
I
boat
love racing some boats.
I'd
I
rather
love
race
it.
a Pro 2 truck at Lima Land.
Hey, I like the street bangers. I
Oh,
like them.
brother.
Well.
I just never really.
They're harder to drive than a lot of people think they are. They
They
take
are
a lot
pain
of
in the-
finesse.
There are a pain in the ass. Like the wheel movement,
Yeah.
dude. Like if you don't have your steering, wait. This is a street stock thing. I'm trying to think. Ratio?
4-1.
The steering ratio, yeah.
If you don't have that right, dude, you feel like
Oh,
you're
they
a
drive
monkey fucking a
terrible.
football. You don't even know what you're doing.
I mean, you're all
You're
over
turning
the
this
place.
much. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, like, I see like some guys start out like on iRacing, and like I help guys out on wheel settings all the time. Like I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I
Help
I don't-
JC Floyd then. He wants to know your wheel settings.
No, I ain't gonna. I don't share people my legit wheel settings, but I tell people like what you should know. Like,
I know the legit
hey,
settings.
8-1 is gonna make you feel like you're special ed. 4-1 is gonna make you feel like you know what you're doing. Like simple
Yeah.
stuff like that. Or, like things like just little things like that are like just like steering offsets.
Well, you
stuff.
said
Like
that that
people don't understand that at first. It's like mind boggling.
Yeah, it makes you way better. I can't even drive the 6-1 box on the street stock. Like I go out there and spin, and I can't even make a lap.
Well, that's what, like I was like getting like that's why you have to be a wheel because I remember like I think on the fix set when I like the rookie street stock series like when I first started it it was 8-1, and
Yeah.
I forget what I was like. I don't know, like 2 months after having a game of playing these street stocks, still rookie license. I was terrible at the start, by the way. I was doing the same thing. People hit me or bump me, I'd kill them immediately.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
like I've been there, done that. But
probably one
I was
of
like
them.
on 8. I was always on 8-1. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm a wheeling. And the guy finally told me, like, he's like, oh, go to 4-1 or 6-1 or like whatever it was. And I was like, oh my god, this is way easier. Mucho's better.
I'm even better than I thought.
I still hated him.
Oh, I still don't like them.
Yeah.
I like the speed. Like I'm a speed guy. Like,
But
I just like to go fast.
Chase said that street stocks are harder than you think, and I think that's true for any slow car because the slower it is,
You have to
the
be
easier
perfect.
it is. So the closer the competition is, so like you just have to be that much better. And though I don't like them, I know that there is a lot of skill that you have to have in order to compete in something like the Gobbler, where you're like, oh, those cars are easy. I could fucking run well in that. Well, it's like, okay, they're easy. Everyone's gonna be good at
Well,
it.
the thing is, you have some street stock ringers like J.C. Floyd and Jordan Gage, Kyle Jarrett, and some people like that where, they're good. They're really hard to beat. Like you gotta have so much finesse in those cars and throttle control, and you got to be perfect. And they're hard to beat. I'll give it to them. They're very good at what they race, and there's some really good street stock guys out there. And when the Gobbler rolls around, they're almost always competitive.
So
I ran the Gobbler 1 year, and Calavota kicked me out of the server.
wow.
That's a real surprise there.
Louis
Yeah, I
QR
was so
asks Chase, how's you and Hauser's relationship now? Now that you're not there, I mean,
It's fine. I don't have a problem with them.
Just off and on fling still, like little side piece action, or
I don't really know about that. We haven't really talked that much, to be honest, but I don't have an issue with him.
that's good to hear.
I don't think he has one with me either. I hope not.
No.
Well, it's not
It is
him
what it is.
asking, so I think you're in the clear.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's
I
not
don't-
Luigi.
It says Louis QR.
Liquor.
Liquor. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's pretty good.
I don't know.
I think that might be.
I mean,
it,
I can't get on here and blast the dude because all those guys over there helped me a lot.
Well, can
Yeah.
I blast someone?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh boy!
I'm blasting Nathan. No.
Wow.
I don't have anybody blast. Only thing that I'm gonna blast is after this podcast, I'm gonna blast to the kitchen because I'm eating some food.
I got.
Italian dressing is your next team. We've established that finally.
Yeah.
I got one last question for you, Chase. That.
All right.
Oh shit! No way. I think I just forgot it. What was my question?
Wow.
I had it,
Getting
and then
old.
I just lost it.
See, that's what I'm telling you, Chase. Like we're getting old. Like we can't keep
Yeah.
up with these young kids
No
nowadays.
way! I just lost that question.
Wow.
Oh no!
No.
I
haven't yet,
had
too.
it.
Looky.
Oh no! Oh, there it is. I got it back. So I generally ask everyone this that comes on the podcast, and it's because everyone that has came on the podcast is pro. So obviously you have gotten to the level that like you're one of the best in the world. You're a pro, all that. And people watching are probably gonna know what I'm about to ask. But when did you kind of realize your potential? Like okay, I got a little bit of speed here. Like if I put the time in, I can be really good.
Well, I had like 4K iRating on race, and I loaded in a top split race at I-55, and I mopped them up pretty bad. And like Blake and Evan and everybody were in there. I was like bamboozled. I couldn't believe I did that. Like I didn't know what to do with my hand.
But you knew
That's when I knew I was probably pretty good at it.
So you knew who everyone was. Like you were up with it. Like you knew, who these people
I couldn't
are.
believe I did it. I mean, they were on it too. I mean, they were good, and I just got lucky. It was kind of a 1-lane track. I'm not gonna lie, and I was just out there driving around, and I got it done. So.
Well, hell yeah.
That's when I really noticed.
I mean,
was pretty good.
Fuck, I've never beat them, but I still think I'm decent. I can imagine.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, they're the best. So
I've only beat
really hard.
Evan one time. Actually, I've beaten Evan and Blake, but both of them were in heat races, so I don't think they really count. Not really.
Evan and Blake. I mean, that's the top two. I mean, that's who you're trying to beat every race. So.
But
dude, Beta Industries to the top next season.
Oh,
yeah,
100%. Beta Industries on top.
Drip and Rip wants to know how long until Chase joins Alpha because I guess everyone's doing an Alpha. I don't know.
No,
I'm on Beta. I'm on Beta Industries.
It says Beta. It's still looking for drivers.
I'm on Beta. I'm on Beta.
Dude, Beta is where it's at.
That's got to be Rumsey.
You're not on Beta?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, bro.
That's got to be Rumsey. Beta Industries is looking for. That's got to be Rumsey. Like, there's no way. It's not.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's not even close.
I agree. All right, well that's all I've got for you, Chase. Do you have anything else for him, Kiefer?
No, not right now. We've had a pretty good podcast today.
Yeah,
it went well.
Definitely very good. Chase, thank you so much for stopping by, coming on the podcast. It's been a blast, man. Congratulations on, like I said, on the 6th place in the Pro Series points and overall successful season in that, and then the WOTEL points championship. Like that's really impressive too. So congratulations on all your success, man.
All right, thank you. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely, buddy.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
You too, bud.
You as well.
All right. Well, that was Chase Barber, another excellent guest, another fun guest, another guest that we ended up talking to way more than
we anticipated
for sure. So, but a fun.
I got some chicken cheese and rice calling my name, dude. I'm stoked.
All right. One last thing I want to ask you. What do you got? Some racing coming up. Not this weekend. You posted on Facebook, but when's the next race? I mean, what are we looking at?
Actually, I'm taking the next 2 weekends off.
Wow.
But then I come back with the B-Mod Bash, which is in Tri-City Speedway, which is $1,500 to win Friday night and $3,000 to win Saturday. And then we have a 3-day, or there's a $1,000 to win race, B-Mod race in that dough run for like a Halloween. And then we got a 3-day show at Brownstown Bull Ring coming up at first weekend in November. Then there's probably about 2 or 3 more weekends after that. Season's still going pretty strong for us. Besides the next 2 weeks.
So the Heart Limited Modifieds, you still leading the points in that? How many races left?
There's 3 races left, and we have the points championship wrapped up now.
You have it wrapped up now.
3 races before. Yeah.
Well, there he is, there.
I could miss the next 3 races realistically.
There's our points champion right there, then, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Damian Kiefer, Heart Limited Modifieds 2023 champion. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I mean, how many races? So what's the tally at this in this season now? How many races have you won?
For wins, 18.
Fucking 18, bro. It's
been pretty crazy, and it's been crazy to think. So like the Heart Series, I've won every race that I've finished besides one.
I mean,
I ran, and this race I didn't win I ran second. To me it's pretty crazy because like those other races I broke leading. Like every race that I didn't finish, I broke leading. Like that's just kind of crazy to think.
I personally put you up there with Bobby Pierce and Ricky Thornton this year. Honestly, like you're up there with those guys.
Well, Har's been pretty good this year, and we've won 3 or 4 A-Mod races this year in the B-Mod, so we've been pretty good. I'm excited for the future, and hopefully we get a dome invite. That'd be pretty sick.
That would be very sick indeed. Well, that's all I've got. I think that's all we've got for this week's episode, the inaugural episode of the Plum Wild Podcast. You got anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Well, hell yeah. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the inaugural episode of the Plum Wild Podcast. Stay tuned for the announcement of the next episode. It might be next week. It might be the week after that. Not sure yet, but we'll definitely keep you posted on that. Again, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.